Here we got the Lotus Field combo deck. So typical opening hand, we really want to see Lotus Field and Thespian Stage to start. We want that in whatever opening hand we have. You can swap the Lotus Field or the stage for a 7th scrying since it can find either one. So you either want one of each and scrying or not. And depending on the matchup, a card I like to have in my opener is always Argyle Grazer, because it helps you get to that Lotus Field a lot faster. And then generally you want one payoff. So like 4 lands, 2 of them are the ones, Argyle Grazer and a payoff is like the hand that you want. You got to be careful though, because you really need to plan out like 4 turns ahead. Because if you're going to play Lotus Field on 3, then you got to, which lands are you going to play leading up to that? Because Temple of Mystery comes to play tapped. So it's probably going to be any of your tap lands, Temple of Mystery, the Beljed Sanctuary, either of those, you probably want to play on turn 1, where you can play your turn 2 land. Obviously, you have Argyle Grazer and a green source, you should probably do that. Green source, Argyle Grazer, and then play your tap land. That way on turn 2, you can play your Lotus Field. Generally, Hidden Strings and Vizier, you can use them untap Lotus Field. You can possibly do that on turn 3 if you got something nice to do with that. You could do it as a value. Mostly post-board games, that's whenever that plays can be big, where you play the field on 3 with a 2 untap land, cycle the Vizier, or float the 2 to cast the Hidden Strings to untap it. Generally, that's whenever you want to untap the land and go right into something like Path of Peril against aggro, right? If that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
Outside of that, you're really not using your Viziers. Now, you can just cycle the Vizier to try and find a Sylvan Scrying or find a Lotus Field or a Thespian Stage. Cycling is cycling, so it's not the worst. I think managing the mana on a deck like this, basically just every game you're trying to play Lotus Field on time, and you're trying to play Thespian Stage behind it to copy it, and then the very next turn, start a turn with 2 Lotus Fields, and it's pretty hard not to combo. As long as you have 1 payoff, or 2, 1 payoff is generally all you need. Another really nice thing about Beljed Sanctuary is if you play it on turn 1, whenever you do sack it to the Lotus Field on your 3rd land drop, it gives you a spell, a face-up spell, which is going to be important whenever we're going into spell mastery like Dark Petition or possibly Leer, returning stuff later on. So don't miss out on that. It is a little clunky though sometimes because it does come into play tapped, but you have to be mindful of how you play this because you can't play it from your hand with Argyle Grazer because it's not a land in your hand. It's a spell. So you gotta lead. It makes for some awkward hands when you have the recovery with the Grazer. But generally, you're just trying to get up to the Emergent Ultimatum. You do that pretty simply with 2 Lotus Fields. I say pretty simply, but I've been making it a habit of floating black mana and then using my untap. Because, like say I float black and I float blue. 2 Lotuses. And then we'll use 1 of each, blue and black, and cycle Vizier to untap a Lotus Field. Now we got 2 of each, and then Lotus Field, this ultimatum is heavy green. So it's usually the green you want to tap last because you get all 3 of it from 1 field. So that's the easiest, handiest trick I got for making sure you don't mess up your mana when you're casting Emergent Ultimatum while chaining these things. There's a sweet spot is like 2 blue, 2 black. Generally, if you cast Dark Petition with blue mana floating, you could always go into Pour. If you have 2 blue, if you have a bunch of more payoffs in your hand when you're casting this Dark Petition, like off of Emergent Ultimatum or whatever, then try and make sure you have blue floating because you could always just go get a Hidden Strings, cast it, untap the 2 Lotuses, and then cast the payoffs in your hand. So there's a lot of different chains in the late game, but they're all hand dependent on where you are in the game. So you kind of got to think on your feet once you get the setup. But to play the deck, you just get the setup. And then once you start seeing the iterations in the late game on how the payoffs work, that's when you really master the deck a little bit more. But for beginning, you definitely want to just start with get Lotus Field and Desmond Stage as soon as possible. There's some interaction to this, and what makes this deck great is that there's not a lot of interaction to this combination, especially not main decks. Usually game ones, there's nothing. If there's a mono green player, like of course you could get the not Thoughtseize or two that come at your payoffs, but they can't interact with your actual mana engine, which is huge. Because then it's like, well, whatever I draw is going to kill him. One Emergent Ultimatum, one Pour the Pages can start a chain that can kill him. Hell, half the time Lear just flashing back whatever they made you discard with a bunch of mana. Couple hidden strings in a Lear with 2 Lotus Fields. All them Thoughtseize are going to look real dumb. So that's the advantage is game ones. As long as you keep the stage in the field, a lot of decks don't clock you fast enough, and a lot of decks have like 4, 8, 10 removal spells that really do dick all against you. Which brings me to the point of Vizier. Vizier is an interesting card because generally you want to cycle it, but sometimes you want to just play it out there. Decks, especially post board, where they board out the removal, think, I don't know, like mono green is already light on removal, so you can get by with playing it sometimes. I mean, they have Voracious Hydra or whatever, but outside of that, it could just be a home run. Generally, I won't play it if I already have the stage and Lotus Field, because it's better to set up a turn where you can copy on turn, I say turn 4, but we'll just say land drop 4, because again, we could be accelerated by Argo Grazer. But we'll say turn 4, that's going to be synonymous with 4th land. So don't think in terms of turns, but in terms of land drops, because that always gets sped up by 1 with the Argo Grazer. So, your 3rd is going to be the field, your 4th is going to be the stage, but that stage is not a Lotus Field. So one easy thing you can do, and what you look for in that situation for a turn 4 kill, is to tap the Lotus for 3 blue, cycle the Vizier. That nets you a blue. So now you got untapped Lotus Field, untapped Desmond Stage with a blue and pool. Then you tap the field again for blue. You got 4 blue. 2 turns the stage into a Lotus Field. The other 2 cast hidden strings to untap both. And then hopefully you have a pour behind it because it's going to net you a mana. You can go right up into your more expensive things. Dark Petition with 2 blue floating and just start getting it going. Basically, you got to be careful with that though, because if you have 2 Lotus Fields, untapped, 6 mana, you can't cast Emergent Ultimatum. You already use the Vizier and you already use a hidden string, so it's not likely you have the 3rd. So actually pulling the mana to get to Emergent Ultimatum is tough from there. Like, you can go blue and black and then cast pour, float a black. If you have a second pour, you can float another black off of that one. And then you got an easy street, Emergent Ultimatum with a blue floating, which is kind of where you want to be. If you are casting Emergent Ultimatum, you want to be floating blue on that one. Because your piles are always going to be like Omniscience in every pile, and they almost never give you Omniscience, especially if you resolve to pour the pages, because they assume that you have another spell. Oftentimes I put the Omniscience in there, even if it's not right, just because they can't give it to you. So if you go Omniscience, Dark Petition, you got a blue floating, and you go like, I don't know, you can do pour, just to make sure you untap. That'll work, because if they give you the Dark Petition and the pour, then the pour is effectively going to give you 6 more mana. And then the Dark Petition is going to give you whatever the hell you want. You can go right into another Emergent Ultimatum if you want. If they don't give you the Omniscience. If they give you the Omniscience here and the pour, then great. Because you'll get to untap the lands. All your spells are going to be free. This is probably the most likely chance that you'll miss Omniscience pour. So they give you that instead of the Dark Petition. And you got whatever spell, another Emergent Ultimatum, another pour, a Lear, whatever, any of that, then you can go off just like that. So that's what the late game piles look like. I know I'm bouncing around a lot, and if I'm not making sense, feel free to stop me. Have you had any questions about Is there anything that you
Yeah,
want to
not
know
yet. I'm
specifically?
good.
I know I've been concise, but like maybe just keep me on track here. Like have you played any games with the deck?
Yeah, I've played a few, and it's just the only hang up I had was like when and what to get.
Right. Yeah, that's a little tough, and sometimes I put myself an extra step in there. But just know, starting out, untapping your lands is always going to be good. Like Pour the Pages is always going to be good because you can keep it going. Although I did cast 5 Pour the Pages in my finals match and completely whiffed game one. It was incredible. And, sometimes that happens. I cast 5 of them. I cast 4 actual pours and recovered a pour and poured again and got nothing. So, nothing but sadness. But generally, when you go with the emergent, and you have it depends on what kind of mana you have left over. If you have 2 mana left over and something like a Hidden Strings in the graveyard, then you just go for this pile here: Omniscience, Leer, Dark Petition.
Okay.
Because if they give you Omniscience, Leer with Hidden Strings, you just Hidden Strings with the 2 mana, untap your 2 Lotuses. You got 6 mana to play your graveyard with the Leer. Again, that the Leer also is dictated by what your graveyard's like. Do they have graveyard hate? In play. 2 Lotus, Dark Petition, or Emergent Ultimatum, or Hidden Strings in hand will let you win. Chat says. So, Dark Petition. 2 Lotuses, Dark Petition, and Emergent Ultimatum, or Hidden Strings in hand will let you win. Yeah, so you can Dark Petition. I mean, you can, if you have 2 Lotuses, that's 10 mana. The way to look at it is 2 Lotuses with a Shimmer is plus 4 mana. So then you get Dark Petition, and you get Emergent. I mean, if you have 10 mana and then you Dark Petition, that costs 3 of it, that leaves you 7, and then you get Emergent. But you can't Emergent after the Dark Petition. Because your color is going to be all messed up because you have triple black. But they could get jammed up. Like if you Emergent, just a natural Emergent into this pile, and they give you the Dark Petition and Leer, then you can just Dark Petition for the Hidden Strings if you have blue floating. And then you get untap the 2 Lotuses. With your 4 mana, you go down to 2. Then you use 6, 7, 8. And you play Leer with 3 floating, and then immediately replay that Hidden String that you're already playing, and you just play out your graveyard. Right into another Dark Petition again, into your Ultimatum with the Leer out. Or pour, because then you'll pour, and your pour is actually a double pour. So it's really hard to miss at that point. But and it's possible that I'll lean on pour a little too much. And in the finals of my RPTQ, I went straight for an Omniscience off of a Dark Petition that I thought I could cast, but I didn't realize that I only had 11 mana. I needed 12 because I needed to Boseiju a hate enchantment. That just miscounted. So be careful for that. Sometimes you can just hard cast Omniscience too off Dark Petition. Like if you have a double strings and a Vizier draw, hard cast Omniscience while you have a Granted or something. Especially in post-board games, because you're always boarding out an Emergent Ultimatum. So you'll be able to get that with the Gifted. Or Granted, whatever it's called. Granted. So I like cutting an Emergent. I like cutting a Fit. I like cutting an Emergent. I like cutting a Belgelot, a Jed Recovery, a Shimmer. That's like 3 cards, and the Behold comes out like every game. So, because post-board games, you need more interaction, and they usually have more interaction, so you just go ahead and cut those. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 4 easy cuts every round. Also, there's a lot of contention over how many grazes you board out. I feel like if you're on the draw, you should always leave in some number. You know, maybe if it's blue-white, you wouldn't, because the game's definitely gonna go long. Let's get up in a Pioneer event here. Blue, black, black, cast our petition. You have blue, black, black, black. After spell mastery and you grab hidden strings, you use blue, black, and we'll have, yep, there you go. Okay, yeah. That works. But the ultimatum at that point is getting you what? A naked ultimatum with no floating mana. You get omniscience. You get dark petition. And you get four basis. That's what you get. Because if they give you omniscience and dark petition, then you can just dark petition. And for something you can get for another ultimatum. Or not for another ultimatum. You'll get the behold. You're right. The 8 drop. Read my primer. I've read it through a friend. I read it through a friend. I played in 2 RPTQs. I got third in one and I got second in the other. Some nice highlights. I killed an opponent with their own Rainy Nap Ruins. That was fun. My friend actually won and he lent me the deck. And he was following you. YOLO Brolo. You might have seen him on your Twitch. So, thanks for the follow, Cool Hand Loot. And I've been playing this game for a while. I know a broken deck when I see one. Pretty much been beating everything. I beat Heroic in the top 4. Grease Fang beat me in the top 4 the week before, but it was mulligans to 5. I'm mulliganing a lot with this deck, though. But I think you're supposed to. You get a lot of advantage from copying Lotus Field, so making sure you set that up will, make up for any setback you have mana-wise. So you're down 2 cards, which are plus 6 mana on 4 lands. You basically spent 4 lands to get 6 mana, so brings it back to parity. Alright, we'll play first. Like I said, we have the field, and we have the Desvian stage. We have 2 lands to sack. So you don't want to play the stage out early. We got a 2 drop to look for a payoff or more untaps. This hand's great. So this is like an average hand, I would say. Temple. Sylvan Scrying. Okay, so in this situation, since we already have both the lands, the Sylvan Scrying is not as good as an untap. I would say they can't discard your lands. So I think in this situation, I mean, it is nice to have the Sylvan Scrying because we can like scry on the next turn. Maybe go get a Beseiju just in case they are playing Karn or something. Wow. You must not have luck like me. This hand is average hand. So you can just to give you something to do with your mana. But next turn we get Shimmer. Turn after that we might not have a play. It's possible we get hidden strings to do something, but that's not likely. So here I think I would just put this on the bottom. Because we'd rather see an Arvo Grazer since we already have the lands we have. Or another untap. Just acceleration. We're gonna be getting Thought Seized probably. What do you do? Enter from the graveyard. Okay. That doesn't do anything. Aura, shimmer it up. The most here is 0 hidden strings. Yep. Okay, well, we could get the ultimatum here. But I think we probably just follow up on the hidden strings. Since we already got the lands that we need. We can set up for that turn 4 kill. I don't know what you do. Create zombies. Okay, so I mean their clock is not the biggest. And interaction is severely lacking. And we'll just do nothing this turn. Safe up these lands. Don't forget that these lands are legendary either. Sometimes you want to play them out in front of the Lotus just so you can discard, sack them, and play the other ones later if you got a bad hand. Okay, this is kind of a clock. We got the cutthroat. It looks to be one turn off for a turn 4 kill. We can go for a turn 3 with the double hidden strings. I mean, turn 4 if we needed to. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I think we should definitely try it. But once they show they're slow, maybe Ultimate was a better pick. Yeah. Possible. I mean, because right here, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They sack all their creatures, it could be 9. Not super likely that they'll beat us, but go ahead and try this. I'll try and show you a 4. Just say we had to go this turn. It's also assessing whether or not you got to go. It's like, what can they do? It's game 1. Super not likely. But we'll try and go here, right? And this is way easier to do in person, online. Cipher, blue, black. I'm going 4. There's the ultimatum. You always want to like just pitch this Lotus as an easy pitch if you're worried about time. So then we'll black, blue again, and pour over them pages. We just have so much mana, we can just keep doing this if we want. I mean, this is going to be a GG for sure. I'm just going to go ahead and ultimatum now for the sake of time. We'll go ahead and do Leer, Omniscience, Dark Petition. Because then we just pour and pour and pour and pour. That mana, hidden strings, omniscience. You know, I mean, we get the omniscience regardless here because we have so much untap. This is one of the most interactive decks right here. It's great. We interact with the 4th turn and the 5th turn pretty much every game. We interact with the winners bracket pretty often. And then you got to stack the you got to stack the ultimatum spells. So if it looks like they can kill an enchantment, then you want to resolve omniscience last. That way you can cast something. It doesn't look like that from this mana. It looks like you kill a creature, you want the Leer to resolve last. That way, as soon as it resolves, you can play a card out your graveyard right away. So from here, we're just going to float blue, and we'll cast this with Omniscience. And we'll cast this with Omniscience. And then we'll get... Where's the Fair Wishes? There we go. Mastermind. Yep. 3 tutors because we got the Omniscience, so we don't have to worry about mana. And we can go right for the kill. Game over turn 4. That's good. So they have some small creatures. We could like kill their creatures and just set their clock back significantly. It's nice if you're failing and you have a Dark Petition and you just need more time. It could buy you a couple turns. They're probably going to be playing discard. So I like Maze-Mind Tome. I like putting these cards in the sideboard as cards to search for. And get rid of the Behold Beyond. We could also play Leyline where they can't target us. I don't remember if those cards target the 2-drop. So against heavy discard decks, or if you're worried about something like, I like the ley line just because one of the few ways their clock is so slow that they can beat you is to just remove your Lotus Field from your deck. Oh, great, my headset's about to die. Perfect. Plug this sucker in. Okay, so here we have the stage and the Lotus Field, but no payoff. There's some equity in mulliganing because we have, but with two Temple Mysteries, I would not mulligan this. We have half what we need here. We have all the mana we need, basically. So any payoff is going to work for us. Like the worst payoff is probably Dark Petition, just because we don't have any spells. There's a Vizier, more mana. So we're just trying to scry into some action. Now, here we see a ley line. If it's possible to turn 3 this ley line, which it is, we're on the draw though, so it's not going to come soon enough for it to really have an effect. Missed the land drop. Okay. I don't have a 2-drop that I really want to play, so I'll go ahead and scry, keep this on top because it'll give us a dig for a payoff next turn. So if they discard us, it doesn't really do much here. So we'll shimmer. Use this key here. Look for a payoff. This is the payoff. And we'll field up. This is so bad on Moto because if I accidentally click on this Lotus Field, everyone will be so mad. You accidentally sack your Lotus Field on the Magic Homeline. Your Lotus Field. Like I said, this is a human deck. Okay, so here's Dahlia. There's some interaction, right? So now we don't net as much mana. But we still net mana, so we'll go ahead and leave this be here. This clock is still not significant at all. And if we had an Arbial Grazer, they'd be doing like next to no damage. So it's possible we could even play the Vizier. I just don't want them to have, if they have any lingering removal in their Boast board deck, I don't want to give them the opportunity. Aristocrat, okay. Feeling safe over there. This 4 is mana neutral. For this land. We'll just keep pouring. See if we can get something to get rid of the Thalia. So we can go tutor up. We need 5, 8 mana to tutor up what we need. We could just go for the Emergent Ultimatum. We could throw Omniscience in a pile. We can throw the Wrath in a pile. And we could also throw another Pour in the pile. I think that might actually work. So blue, black, and then with strings here and here. blue and blue. And then, I don't know, just for shits and giggles here, we can cycle. This one is not increased mana from Thalia because it's cycling and not actually casting a spell. Still nets 1 mana, won't net as much as the other one. See if we find what we're looking for here. So we got 7 in pool. We just got an Emergent Ultimatum here, and we can cast these cards. We are going to have to pay 1 to cast them, but that's okay. So I think we do Omniscience, Dark Petition, because if we spend 2 mana to cast, and then Leer, I think that works. We didn't board in the removal spell, so it's all on the sideboard. Then we just go after these here. He can't give us Omniscience. I should have boarded in one of the removal spells, just one of. Because it really is nice because you can cast it right off the Dark Petition. I mean, but if you think about this board spot, if we just tutored up the Wrath on them with this hand and this much mana, they're never going to be able to recover. And we got 2 returns, so even if the game goes on for 2 or 3 more turns, which it shouldn't, then, I mean, we got plenty of time. So, you know, the little Wraths are nice resets. Instead of risking it all, possibly miscounting if you're new, you know, just set them back.
Jody, what Wrath are you running? I didn't see it.
And the Wraths are nice because then you can get them behind with Auto Wars if they do have a follow-up. Okay. So we cast like this. And then we cast this with Omniscience. Grab this path. Then we can go ahead and hidden strings. Although everything's free, so go ahead and cast this for free. Shimmer twice. We get Shimmer from our hand for free. And then we can play from the graveyard with the Leer and then cast the Approach for free. So, pretty easy match there. You know, some mid-range black-white deck. With a little interaction, you know, but you see how we ran that Thalia over, no problem. We pour, and it's like if we failed, we're not dying for 3 turns, so super unlikely. We were looking for like an Auto War to bounce there. We had all of our Wraths in the sideboard. And if we went to a game 3 there, we would look to board back in some of the removal, maybe less of the ley line. I mean, ley line, you assume that they have discard. And, you know, there's a lot of assumptions set ley line there. But if they are planning to beat you, then those are the cards they're going to have. So it's possible you can, you know, on the play, you can potentially get ahead of stuff like that. You can possibly get ahead of it. But on the draw, that turn 3, before you get a Lotus Field in play, they come at you. Because you can win with just natural Lotus Field. So if they name Thespian Stage, you can find the second Lotus Field and wait a couple turns to get the second field in play, especially given how slow their clock was. Something to look out for. Arbo Grazer with 1 land. Not what you're looking for. You'd be gambling if you kept in a hand like this. Now, if you happen to draw the second land, it would be nasty. It would be sick nasty. So if you were like, had a bad matchup and you're on the draw, this is like a good game 3 hand if you really want to do a little gambling if you're not feeling good about it. Because if you draw another land and you go a grazer into that land, next turn before you make your land drop, you scry for the land. And play, you got the double strings in the pour to go. So, you know what? I mean, I could keep you to show you, but could get bad, could get ugly. So let's just go ahead and mulligan. I would mulligan that hand. This hand's a little better because you have a 2-drop, 2-drop. Usually you have enough time to play multiple 2-drops before you get to what you're looking for. So here's red. And here we're going to double Sylvan, I think. Burn Tree's going to be coming fast. Kind of hoping to draw one of the lands that did something. So start by getting the Lotus Field. Pass. So we'll be looking for an untap or a Thespian Stage. Okay. It's aggressive. Red's one of the scariest matchups. War could do something. But with no untaps, a turn 4 is not possible. So we've got to hope to get lucky here. And draw an untap, a hidden strings. Or Vizier. I think we just go ahead and grab the stage here. Field up. And then we have to draw an untap. So we try and turn 4 them. If we don't draw an untap, we gotta hope the clock's not good enough. But their clock is good enough. See? Yeah. So we still have a chance because if they fire up this bin, we can bounce it with the Otawara, but then we're in the same spot of gotta draw this untap. So these are the harder matches, see. But if we had an Arbo Grazer, this game would have been easy. If we have a single untap instead of a shimmer, the game would be easy. If we would have drawn a land like a Thespian Stage or a Lotus Field in the first 2 turns, to where we wouldn't have had to cast both the scryings to get the setup, then we could have used a shimmer to find an untap to make the game winnable. You know, make a turn 4 possible. Because turn 4, you just got to get the untap so you can copy. You need a couple untaps to really get going, but if you get a Vizier, I mean, if you get a hidden strings, or you need Vizier and hidden strings. Vizier so that you can go ahead and copy, and then hidden strings to untap both copies. So you really need 2. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to fire this thing up. Let's go to the beginning of combat step. I'm going to auto-war this thing. And we go to 2. So I don't think this works for us. But we'll try what we got, you know? I mean, a pour would have been a better shot for us. It's not going to be good enough. No single card can do this for us, so we'll go ahead and concede. And it looks like they're pretty creature based, so I don't think they're going to be targeting us, but they might be playing some artifact or enchantment haze, so we'll bore 2 of those in. I'm not really feeling the ley lines all that much. Path of Peril is probably okay. Maybe a Maze Mind Tone because it could gain life. You just start scrying, looking for what you need. Cut. 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 60. Do it like this. I think the language is a little slow. But you're pretty much always cutting this emergent ultimatum. The big payoffs. Oh, it's a Discord. I thought it was a Facebook group. Huh.
Are you streaming on Discord or Twitch?
What, 6 rounds, 501, 01, 701, 711. Okay, what do we have here? 1 land with 2 grazers. That's a mole. No lands. Well, 1 land here, potentially. With this grazer. That's a mole. Grazer's okay, but we're on the play. So there's no way we can get advantage of that. It's going. What's up, Noble Murloc? Chilling, bro. Just trying to introduce some people to one of the best decks of Pioneer. Yep. Been doing a lot of winning with this deck. Locally, anyway. Okay, see, this hand is a lot better. Keep it. We got a bottom 2. This one. We already got a stage. So I think what we're going to end up doing here against mono red, I think we get rid of the stage. Done. We're going to be looking for a payoff. But regardless, I think we temple first and just see if we can get that Lotus field naturally. Actually, maybe we recovery first. I think we just want to play this first. And pass, and we'll just go with Grazer. We'll play it a little slow here. We can Sylvan Scrying. Okay. I mean, they have no attack on turn 2. So I think we just Sylvan Scrying into, this is actually beautiful, into the Lotus field. Then we can pass, because next turn we can Grazer. We can play the Temple and then Grazer into the Lotus field. Could be an Eidolon. No, Burning Tree. Into Firebrand. Alright, see, not that aggressive. 2 cards left to go. So we're just looking to fade some 8 cards. This card actually can go off next turn, I think. No, we're not going off next turn. Copying, but probably gonna want this. It's not gonna hurt to have. I guess a land would have been fun too. Block the 2/2. Might be able to get another block out next turn. Yep, looks possible. So we'll go ahead and cycle this. That way we can copy. Oh, that's a poor, huh? Alright. Super unlikely that we can combo here. Because if we pour, we can hit a hidden strings, but we need a hidden strings vizier. And this kind of takes away our copy. If we pour, we can't really copy. Oh, we can make a land drop. So I think we just pour for value here. There's a land drop. Let's have these 2 lands. Pitch this. Play Beseju. And tap this for blue. We'll just shimmer. And I'm just gonna play it safe here. And grab the Beseju in case they do come up with a hate card. We have removal for it. And if they don't, then we should be able to go with just the hidden strings of the Mastermind acquisition, because we can definitely get an ultimatum going off of that. And since this is going to be our last turn, we're playing on combo next turn, we'll go ahead and block the most amount of damage. Here's Eidolon. So we have 1 card left. Okay, play this land. Six, 10, 11, 12 mana. Hmm. 12 mana. They're gonna get a 2/2 next turn, so we really want to kill him this turn. I'm a little worried about the mana. Get this Eidolon, because if we just go get a pour, then the pour might not be good enough. We have access to 12 mana, so we can't Mastermind for a ultimatum. We could get the Dark Petition, but then we can't cast it. And well, I guess if we get Dark Petition, we get Dark Petition pour. We can't leer into a hidden strings unless we play the Beseju. You gotta be careful. Because I don't know, we only play 5 small spells. We definitely have to play the hidden strings if we Beseju them. So we're kind of hanging the whole combo on 1 pour. I think we should definitely Beseju this though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So if we went and got a Wrath from outside the game, that wouldn't be that good. I mean, we can Wrath, but they got this 2/2 coming, and then we can blank. We can brick off a turn or two, and then be in a bad spot. Let's go get this pour here. See what we can do with this. Black. Pour. Like we could pour into an outburst. Not outburst, ultimatum. Okay, well. Now we're in a position of we can kill this thing, but they could attack us. We can wait a turn, or we can cycle. We have enough mana that cycling would be a good thing. Regardless, we're pitching the hidden strings. So if we happen to wilt the enchantment creature, then we're looking at 4, 5, 6. They got to come up with another 4 damage. I don't know that they can do it, but we do give them the option to try. If we strings here, we have 7. We can add 4 to that. That could be 11. It could be a cycle plus 9. What's up, Capolo? But then we're like hanging on the top card of our deck. And we have to lock in the first mana first. Not that that matters much because we have hidden strings in hand, but you know, it's kind of like, what do you want to do? We could give them the option to kill us potentially and just wilt their attacker because this is an enchantment creature. And then that gives us another draw step to see if we win. But I think we have enough mana that we shouldn't even give them that. Because we're only coming out with 1 draw step regardless. So then we just go ahead and cycle this. And then hope we hit. Okay. That was a hit. That was kind of a hit. Yeah, that was a hit. So we just get blue. Yeah, it was a hit. So we just untap these. Then we go blue and green. Then we volley up. We do the outburst here. Yeah, that's pretty good. So from here we get Omniscience, Dark Petition. We've got 2 blue floating, so and we get the Fail Wishes. And we do that because if they give us Omniscience and Dark Petition, we just get another ultimatum, and if we get the Fae, we get another ultimatum. We go with Omniscience. Keep running it like that. And if they give us the Dark Petition, they give us the Dark Petition, then we can run it like that. We can just go get a dark. We can go get an ultimatum with that. So. Wonder if they're chatting with us. Not chatting. We have two blue floating, so get a even possibly got a Leer. I think this works, yeah. So we'll get 5. So granted, will get us. We could just get the pour with this one, and then untap these two lands. Cast the 4 off the Dark Petition mana and the 2 floating, then we can Dark Petition for any 6 that we want. But I mean, if we wanted to play it safe, we could do the Behold Beyond. But I think we could just get another ultimatum here. But what did that accomplish, really? All it did was cycle back through. Did we net any mana that way? I don't think we do. So you end up going back to 5, and then you go get a Hidden Strings down to 4. And then your Hidden Strings is just going to be... Yeah, it doesn't really get us where we want to be. I think we just double pour them. Oh no, we get the Lear right here, and then we just run them over. We get the Lear, we pour, then we get 6, but then we can miss, and we already played our land. So I think we just double pour, and then it's just hard to miss. Yep. Well, we got the reset just in case. Blue. Shimmer. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna kill him right here. We give Vizier to +1 on the mana. I think we probably want the Shimmer to go with what do we got? 6, 7, 8. Actually, the Vizier can give us Omniscience next turn. We're just gonna cast this. And then let's cast this Fae, because we can block the 2/2 with it. So even though we fizzled there, we really diamond our opponent's ability to kill us. What's up, Urza? Come at me, bro. Block up 2 of that damage. Seven, 8. We got 9 with the Auto Aura. 10. Let's see what we get off this Vizier cycle. Don't really want to shock in. Get this Omniscience. We can get the Omniscience in play. Then we don't want the Fae to die. Can't really untap. Yeah, why don't we do it like this? And we'll just cast this with Omniscience, and then we'll decline. To put a land in play, because we're going to want to bounce the Fae Wishes to our hand. We're going to try and block the Fae Wishes on a 1/1 so it doesn't die. Or is less likely to die. So we're taking 1 here. Rainy Nap's going to be too slow. Eidolon's a card. Oh, well, we just draw Lear. That's cool too. Alright. We can go ahead and Besage you, the Eidolon. costs 1 mana. Play all this stuff. Black, blue. Maximize acquisition. Approach. And then approach. Then you go black. Blue, dark petition. Approach. Guess that would omniscience. So didn't even need to return the Fae. We could have returned the Fae for Behold the Beyond or whatever. We already had a bunch of tutors in our graveyard. So it doesn't look like they're targeting us still. They do have Eidolon, so we want to make sure we have max ways to remove that. The Languish might be good because they're pretty creature based. Still think what we have is fine. I can see maybe playing the Languish over the Maze Mind Tome. Just to give us another way to kill the Eidolon. One lander, that's a mole. No lander, that's a mole. I'll be scared to mull to 5 with this deck. Hand's kind of weak, but if we get a Lotus field, we can make it work. Maybe start with a natural state on their first drop, and then play a couple rats on the way up. Try to maintain as much life as possible. Languish actually is nice against Eidolon because it doesn't trigger the Eidolon. My headset been off. You there?
What'd you say?
If you were talking to me at all, I didn't hear you. My headset was off.
Oh yeah, I had just asked earlier like what board wipes you were running, but I see them now.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So this is a mull to 5.
I got it.
I think I'll cut the Languish here. Well done. Because we can turn 3 if we draw an untap Path of Peril. And we get a hold of Beseju here, so that's good. They mulligan pretty hard as well. Look, they have 3 cards in hand. Put a natural state here. It's kind of perfect because then we can shimmer without taking any damage. Keep our curve going through the Lotus field. That's incredible. Since we drew the Sanctum, we don't have to worry about. I'm gonna take the payoff because we can Beseju the next enchantment. Take the 1.
They waste that burning tree mana a lot for running 4 of them.
Yeah. I think we just put this here. They do. I don't know if they build their decks correctly. Jeremy's looking at playing that burning tree. I was like, dude, you better make sure that you're doing what you need to do with it. You know, because if you ever play and you're not going to do anything with it, you're going to feel bad. This will save some life. Might have been okay to just play the Recovery as a land. Yeah, see, like right here, I'm just gonna play it slow. I'll just get back to Shimmer. Then I'll Besage you then. Does turn on the desert. But then we get open with Shimmer. And the Shimmer can find us another Lotus. And if we find another Lotus naturally before then, ooh, that's scary. That's scary. I thought we had more time, but that thing's putting a hell of a clock on us. See, if we drew a natural Lotus, we could have just floated and played the Lotus. And poured. It's possible we didn't want to kill that T2. And just Shimmer set up. Now we're in a tough position of we could die. You got 4 coming from the Bone Crusher. It's possible playing Burning Tree that they could have Ember Cleave. We did ramp them as well. I think it might just be safe to cast this Pour. Discard 1. Yeah, we gotta keep the Dark Petition here. We could say tap out Master's Minds for what we need and then hope they don't kill us, but we're not leaving up Besage to kill Ember Cleave. That could kill us. This is a tough spot. What are we gonna do? We also have a clock that's not on our side, so to set up for the win next turn because we still don't have the Desbian stage. We can go ahead and discard. We just go get the stage with the stage in play. I think that's probably fine. Or we can go get the Lotus Field here and just put the Lotus Field in play. Yeah, that'll get us going. There you go. This works. So we just give them the win if they have the Ember Cleave or Double Burn or something like that. And then if they don't, then we can Dark Petition for a Pour. Off the Besage. Look, here's Ember Cleave. We're dead. Ain't that something? I was just saying that. Okay, well, we lost. But I think we could have won that game. We're drawing Immersion Ultimatum, so... Well, obviously we searched our deck, so we could have just drawn a Lotus Field. But say we left up the Besage, cast the Shimmer, no telling what we would have found. Yeah, it might have been better to do it that way instead of just giving them a chance to kill us when we... It feels bad to die with the Besage in hand, but casting that for the Lotus Field and just playing another Lotus Field is probably our best chance of winning the game on the following turn. Because we're going to start with the 2 Lotus Fields with Dark Petition and the Besage. That's a guaranteed Dark Position into the Ultimatum. That does work, right? Yeah. No, actually, that wouldn't work anyway. What am I tripping on? So 6-7 mana, Dark Petition. We can Dark Petition into a Pour with 2 Lotus Fields. You know, so that's pretty much where you want to be. If you have Hidden Strings, you can Dark Petition with 2 fields. Basically, we're working towards 2 fields. So we just played it straightforward right there. We could have been a little crazier, but if we Besage you them, It's possible we just have their mana wrong because we can't cast the Shimmer and we can't play the Boseiju. So we can miss a land drop and play Shimmer. We can maybe Shimmer for a land drop, but that land drop has to be a Thespian stage for it to look right. Because then we can play the stage and Boseiju and then burn one out of the Lotus field. Because the problem is it's not like there's something on board we can kill, like Eidolon.
Yeah, I mean, you were fading one card and they had it. So, like.
But I mean, it's likely they have that card. Does that sound crazy? They had one card in their hand. I mean, the turn before, whenever we wrath them, they had two creatures.
But if you would have like held up Boseiju for the Embercleave, that buys you what, like one turn?
Yeah, it buys you one turn. You're not progressing towards two Lotus fields. So it's possible that you can't even win on the next turn. And you get yourself behind. You don't want to find yourself. You have tools to balance and remove things and buy you time. But if you're not progressing, or you don't have an option to progress, then does it even matter? It goes back to that game we played earlier with the Wilt. It was like, go ahead and cycle the Wilt. Because that one turn you're buying, you already have enough mana to do anything with whatever you draw. Oh, now this is a hand right here. Not the best hand, but it's a hand. I'm going to keep it on the draw, because if we draw a land other than Lotus Field or Thespian Stage, this hand is raw good. It's going to be like guaranteed turn 4. Not guaranteed per se, but turn 4 will be set up for a win. Yep, like that. Get the Grazer. Put in the Boseiju. Push me, daddy. No clock. Game over. So if we draw a Vizier, we can go for this turn 3. Yeah. Just a pour, so we play it slow. Just trying to set up our copy here, and our hand's pretty much Thoughtseize proof, so their best bet is probably just taking the Leer if they do get to take anything. Rakdos is one of the favorable matches. You have to watch out for the Mayhem Devil, because if you play a Lotus, if they get it out before you play your Lotus, you're going to take 2 from second lands. And the sack version is even better matchup. Ooh, here we go. So we double pour into the ultimatum that's here. Put the black, make it easy. We have hidden strings too, so might just go right into this. We're probably gonna go right into this omniscience. Oh boy. So we'll get Fat Wishes, we'll get Mass Petition, Dark Petition, Game Over. Little Rakdos deck. So they're the sacrifice. We play Leyline or they can't target our stuff. I like playing the Tome on turn 2 so we can protect ourselves. I like putting in one path as well because we can wipe a aggressive start and set them back big time. Put all these cards in the sideboard. Right, there's like no payoff, 2 Besejus, the Lotus Field. I think this is worth keeping just because we have the Grazer into the Temple, and like we'll have the mana, close enough mana for any payoff, and their clock is slow. So that's a lot of Besejus. This is gonna be good to block. See if we can find a Lotus off of this or a Sylvan Scrying. That's uncastable. Put it on the bottom. So we're just looking for a Lotus now. Sylvan Scrying, Shimmer. Even a pour over a couple turns. Yeah, it's fine. Thoughtseize. See, because they're going to come with this Thoughtseize. So we're going to be playing off the top of our deck anyway. Also, like maybe playing the Thespian Stage and copying this Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Double black. I wonder if they can even kill anything. They probably can't even kill anything. I doubt they could even kill this thing, so I'm just going to play it. Although the Raiders deck does kill a lot of things, so I don't know. Maybe that's greedy, but let's just pass. We could always copy the black mana if we need to. They're not doing anything, so copy the black mana. That way, if we draw a black tutor, we can like untap our land. There's a devil. You do funky stuff with that Thespian Stage. And cycle this, see if we can find that Lotus. There it is. So they can shoot us for 2 here. But we have a single Lotus. Or Borg. It's gonna make it looking a little more difficult. Here, I think we just take the block on the 3. Well, we can. Joke's on you. We got no cards in hand. Do anything. We got to besage you for this Hive of the Eye Tyrant. So, all in all, their clock is pretty meager. The mastermind could do something, but if we draw like hidden strings or something, then it can really pop off. But Azir can do something else. So I think we'll just take the mastermind. We'll play Boseiju. Since they know about this, they don't know about the island, and then step here, probably here. So we'll have 8 mana. We could always acquisition for a languish, you know. I don't know what they do. Probably just gonna play the 5/5. Nope, they're activating. Okay. The 8 are hidden strings. We have 1 spell in the graveyard, so that's not good. Draw a Dark Petition. Kind of like just wrathing them out. Looking for another payoff. We could also just acquisition for the ultimatum and hope that it sticks. And we could also leave up Boseiju in case they try and kill the creature land on us. We actually don't have the mana to cast this thing. Oh, yeah, no, we get black mana out of these two. The Herbori actually helps us here. I didn't consider that earlier, but definitely something to look out for. Yes, they attack us for 4. We say okay. Play a land. They pass the turn. Okay, well that's interesting. You think you got a mount in that deck? I don't think you got a mount in that deck. I take this red mana off the board here. I guess they do. Black, black, green, blue. So then we go Omniscience, Dark Petition. I don't know. I guess we go with the Pour. That gives the Pour and Dark Petition most likely. There's Lear, so good. Good. Let's get back this pour. Put some more blue. So go here. Here. Let me just get the tour over to the approach. Pretty easy matchup. It's pretty toxic, yeah. Dude, don't you still got a double Master 2 collector's box, bro? Didn't you ask me this last time I streamed Magic? What did I tell you then? I'm standing by my decision. I don't remember what I said. I stand by it. That about sums it up. Okay, let me unplug this thing because my headset wasn't working. So I'm being very useful as a coach. Just engaging with just understanding when you can go, when you can't go, when you should go, whether you have to go. This hand is interesting. It's definitely keep. This is a hand where you go recovery first. Obviously, all lands tap, come and play tap, but you want to put this one into play tabs here. You could have templed first. That's possible. Light pause, Emperor's Voice. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under control, if you cast it, you may search layer for an aura card. Mana value less than or equal to that aura, and with a different name than each aura you control. Put that card on the battlefield. Okay. Your world, buddy. I'm just living in it. Don't really want that. I'll put that on the bottom. I'm gonna graze it up. See how bad they can hurt us. It's probably pretty bad. Less than or equal, so. Oh wow. This thing could just kill us, huh? It can't copy it though. But we have reach right here, so we do get the block. So it actually doesn't look like we're gonna die. Pretty interesting. No trample, you know? No rank or whatever. Get the block in while we can. Play this here. I don't think I'm just gonna go for the hidden strings here. Don't miss a mana. And then we'll go ahead and shimmer. We can't get auto war here though. We can get auto war for later. So we're just gonna wait a minute, we messed up here. No, we had on tap 2 lands. We could just untap just the Lotus field. We could also get a removal spell. If we pick up the hidden strings, we get hidden strings and removal spell. And wipe their whole board. But it's possible that we could die next turn. Yeah, I think I should probably cast this. Get back the hidden string. So in that case, we should have actually took the Thespian stage instead of the Seven Scrying. Because then we could have played the Thespian stage. We were going to tap out and give them a chance to kill us. For some reason, I was thinking maybe we'd play the Fae and we could chump block or something and then be like, haha, nice clock. But I don't know. Maybe there's something in there that kills. Oh yeah, we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, we actually had to block this. But this would actually stop us from blocking because it would fight our Fae. All that glitters. Yep, we're dead. Well, ain't that something? Played bad. Still died. Checks out. Path of Peril is going to be good. So these 4 cards. Boom. Boom. I want to keep the Dark Position. Tripping. Boom. Boom. Rid of the Behold. Going like this. They come out pretty quick, so they don't want to keep this crazy. Keeping his hand. We got the strings, we got the wilt for an enchantment, you know, if they have some kind of silence to slow us down, the leers or whatever. We need to draw another land that we can sack to the Lotus field that we go find. I doubt they're playing Dampen Sphere because they want to play more than 1 spell per turn, so. What? I'm going to take him for 1. I guess they get the 2 drop. Drew Visagio, huh? I could just kill the 2 creatures, but those creatures don't really do anything to me. I could just go get Thespian stage here and play Lotus field. That we could start with Path of Peril next turn or Hidden Strings. No reason to do anything crazy. Hexproof Reach. I've never seen this creature before. Okay. Both these enchantments come back from the graveyard. Oh boy, we're about to do something. Yep, beautiful. We're going to start with 2 Lotuses, 2 Hidden Strings, the Leer. We're not really going to have much payoff here. If we draw a Pour, I'm pretty sure it's GG. Why don't we just go ahead and cycle? Saying a lot about the strength of our hand. We just cycle a Wilt in this matchup. Okay. 4, then untap. 2, we're just 1 shy. We could get the Leer and Omniscience in play. And then cast the Wilt on this. I think that works. So we go 4, down to 2, up to 8. Leer. 3, 4 total. Then we get another 4, that's 8. Then we get strings again. Play all the strings that we have. We get the Omniscience in play. I don't think it's terrible. Cipher on to tap the blue, go here. Tap for blue and code here. I don't know why it's like that. That's the world, I guess. What this thing, I guess. Could have subscribed, but glitter and bro. Blue, cycle here. Oh. That's a GG, folks. We're gonna get these dark petitions going on. Oh, look at this. Just cover that pants, man. We got a shimmer right there. We can play it out. Keep it the same. Path Peril, what a sweet card. My headset's dying again. I should have charged this thing last night. I'm sorry, Alicia. But I hope we did some learning. We did some learning. You let me know if you have any questions in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm good.
This sounds weird. They might keep it because we got some chum bloggers. And like, we got some Skylands. And we're on the draw. And we got a Wilt. Roll to 5. They're probably looking for a hate card. That's too many grazers, my friends. There's such a thing. Want lands? The Lotus Field variety. I don't think here's it. Gotta find that Lotus quick. That's not what we want. This on the bottom. Just gonna play this chump block. Could die here. I kind of wish I had path. So bad. We need Lotus. Yep, didn't find it. Game over. We did. Should have mulled in this hand. I think that's like a rule. You have to keep at least Lotus or Stage. Or some 2-drop to find it. We just kind of went against that rule there and kept his hand, which had omniscience in it and everything. And look, they're not even clocking us. They don't even have an aura. Would have been better to wilt the damn armor. Would have slowed the Glock significantly. Well, I guess maybe we got a chance to win this thing. Cycle. That's all the clock they got. But all they need is one enchantment to really pop off. Nope, deck won't give it to me. Maybe they keep whiffing too, and their deck doesn't work. I'm blocking 2 here. In case we want to take a turn off somehow from blocking. Come on, deck. Yeah, almost there. Except you're not even close. Alright. Too many grazers. Bigs up. How much longer can you draw? Not what you need. Alright, now go with the block. Yeah, Lotus. Could be a Lotus. What the hell? Another grazer gives us another block. It gives us another turn. The hidden strings is what we're definitely going to need. Multiple hidden strings if we're going to pull off. If we draw the Lotus. Regardless, we have to draw Lotus next turn. So this is going to make sure that we can combo. There's +2 mana on each one with the Lotus. Float the 2. If they have a 2-drop enchantment, we die. Yep, we did. He goes and gets the fight one. See, if we got a grazer, then we could have waited. Either way, we got to draw Lotus next turn, so just give him a chance to kill us. See? So we made the same mistake we made before. We could have just got the grazer. See, the deck always presents these same lines of play when you play a deck like this. So, like, say we get grazer there, yeah, our hand doesn't have double hidden strings to just like kill him with ultimatum. But you have to look at the case here. Now they do have 2 legendary creatures, so it's likely that their hand, which has been land drop, is actually more copies of these legends. So wrathing them off of a Dark Petition isn't really going to do much, because they'll just rebuild. Basically. If that makes any sense. They'll just rebuild. So you're not buying yourself much time. Like, you can wrath, but if you only got one Lotus and you had a hidden strings to get the Wrath, because we got to play the Lotus and then hidden strings the third petition for the Wrath, then it's not great. So yeah, we would have survived right here with the Grazer, but we would have ran out eventually. So we're just delaying the inevitable. Somehow this got trampled anyway, so what's that, Rune of Might? So it wouldn't have mattered. I did not know that this green white aura deck was a deck. This card is something. Okay, we got one more match here. But if you consistently make the good plays, then you know it'll pay off eventually. That deck clocks pretty quick. I mean, we got lucky to even still be in that game. We would have just died if they had another aura, because they would have drawn more auras. So we were fortunate. We're playing first. No acceleration. No. I think this hand's up mulliganed. We can keep this one. Just because we have the stage. We can put back one ultimatum. Keep the Beseiju. We always use the Besejus. Southern Scram on top. It's a winner. Okay. Red black deck. So we go Beseiju and we Southern Scrying. Lotus Field, go. One good thing about playing this online as opposed to in person is the amount of shuffling you don't have to do. Oh no, you thought seized me. What's your clock? Ain't got one. Oh shucks. Trespass me, huh? It actually hurts a little bit. Hurts my feelings. It's not that heavy of a clock. If we play another one, it'll be scary. But still probably not going to kill us. This Graze is going to die in an instant. So I think what's best for us is to just be hold. For a 4 emergent 4. That's all we need. That's not good. Oh wow. Okay. Now we have to just stick with the 4 here. And that is lethal right there. Blue, black, 4. Might want that. This. Gotta get lucky here. And get lucky. I guess we can try and bounce something and hope that works out. Get out of Aura. It's gonna give us another turn and try and pull this off. Get a straight draw payoff. I guess we had to bounce with the pressure, but then we would have got the 2 damage out of that. We could have attacked for 3, and then I guess they couldn't have killed us. We kept the Passagia. We still can't cast Emergent Ultimatum. Alright, we're at 3. Actually, we should go black with this. Dead. Rocks with Thoughtseize, all that nonsense. Three drop, couple 3 drops. This language probably ain't the worst. A Wilt. We're on the play, so we probably don't need as many grazers. Go like this. Man. That one was no, not winnable. That's good. Like we're gonna be able to set up our Lotus field for sure. Early too, because we got the grazer. That's a W. Versus the red deck, I'd say you probably a 40, 60 dog. Could be worse than that. Okay. Always get that block in. You never know how long it's gonna be around the block with. Oh, you blanked me? Blam. I don't really want to play this land. Just because they have another, if they have another go blank, we don't want to have to pitch both of our payoffs. Guess they're getting it all. Your thoughts he's gonna go blank? Doesn't have it. Okay. That's sick. They're like, nope, too good. You're too good. And I want to try this card. I think this card's gonna be okay as well. Yeah, what else was gonna draw? It was a hidden strength or a 0. We were guessing the other thing. This hand's keep. Wow. You got the ley line and the lands. Nice go blank, idiot. Get this here. I think I'm gonna get another Besagio. Or an Aurora. Probably Besagio. And thoughts, you just look for the clock. Auto war would have been better. We could try and go this next turn if we need to. Nope. Not here. 2 drop, 3 drop. So we just gotta hope we don't die here. Green. Copy the Desmond stage here. And then bounce this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess maybe this might work. Anytime. Proxy could mess it up too. Well, that's not Croxa. Okay. Oh, it's possibly Croxa. Nothing we can do about it though. So. Or 1. There we go. Repetition for the pages. Language would kill their whole board. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go with this. Go with it. Okay. is pretty easy. So yeah, all in all, I like the deck. Sweet deck. I think we could have mulliganed into a win earlier to win, pick up and go 4-1.
Pretty
I
sweet
just did
deck.
a super loose keep. The super loose keep. Not sure that you need this natural state in the sideboard, but against mono red, it's nice because they all play the Kumano and Eidolon and that other Rolling Vortex or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Alpine Moon has some decks, and I think it's fine. You could play Second Language if you want. It's good against Grease Fang. I mean, Natural State. This is like not killing Parhelion. Wilt is. I would always keep the Wilt. Also, I've played the Niv Mizzet in this spot, and it's kind of awkward. Some games you don't have a lot of gas, and all you have is a Bay of Wishes, but plenty of mana, and you just need to find more cards. And the Maze Mind you can go get. Because in a game one, none of these cards do anything to generate card advantage or progress your ability to win. So Maze Mind Tome can do that, potentially. Definitely something to look for. Yeah. Guess that would be the only changes. Maybe I cut the natural state. You could also cut the Pithy Needle if you want. Do that Second Language in there. Because, that's the whole thing. If you're killing their clock, then it really goes against, sometimes you just gotta kill their clock. You kill their clock, and their little hate cards don't really get you. And Language also kills the 2/3 God that makes all your stuff cost 2 more. So having access to that is huge. If you cast Dark Petition with 1 mana floating, you cast Languish. Although it does cost 6 mana, but still didn't kill that thing. You're up against spirits or something, you can Languish them out. Beats Selfless Spirit. The Miz is pretty good spirits too. Because it can't counter it, it blocks everything. You do a little pinging. Like I said, you can't find it. Can't find it with Fate Wishes. Oh. Got some issues with it. Got some issues with it. Alright, I'm gonna run. I got a big day tomorrow. One love, everybody. Good vibes.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for tuning in. And hope y'all learned something about this deck. Because it is a very good deck. Make sure you check out the VOD. We didn't play any music. If you missed all the action or the introduction to the deck at the beginning, I'll be publishing that VOD on my Twitch. And if you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit the follow button. And you can turn on notifications for the next time we go live. I imagine we'll be doing this again in the next day or two. Play some more of this. One love, good vibes.